Hey Fanshawe, my name is Connor Morand and I'll be your host for today. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you haven't already seen our first two videos, you can check both of them out on our Fanshawe College YouTube channel. Now for all of our returning students, we can't wait to welcome you back this fall. And to all of our new students, if you're still maybe a little bit unsure about whether or not you should attend Fanshawe this fall, please feel free to reach out to the recruitment team to book a one-on-one consultation or to ask them any questions. You can send them an email to myfuture@fanshawec.ca. Now to help us kick things off this episode, I'd like to turn it over to one of Fanshawe's incredible academic deans, Mary Pierce. Mary, thanks so much for being on the show today.
Thank you, Connor. I appreciate this opportunity. I'm delighted to be here this morning to talk a little bit about online learning with all of you. And as Connor mentioned, I'm Mary Pierce. I'm one of the academic deans here at Fanshawe. Now, you may already be studying online at Fanshawe College. You may have studied in the past online at Fanshawe or elsewhere, or this may be the first time that you're really looking at studying online. And no matter what your situation, we want you to have a great experience in online learning here at Fanshawe. Fanshawe College has a very long tradition of online learning. We've been doing it for many, many years. We're nationally recognized in this area, and we really, really have a lot of expertise right across our entire institution to try and help you to have the very best education you can have online. So you might be thinking, you know, what does this mean to me? My program is going to be fully online, or my course is going to be fully online. It could be either way. And the answer is that it can mean a lot of things. So it might mean that all of your class hours are scheduled and you're doing those live online with your professor. It might also mean that some of the hours are live, or it might mean that there's only individual sessions available online. But no matter what the structure of the course, there's always some live interaction. So it really depends on what you're studying and what is the program that you have selected. So that also means that some online programs have a set timetable. And when you look at your timetable when it's available in mid to late August, you'll see that you have scheduled hours. And then you may see there are no scheduled hours, or even just a few, 1 or 2 scheduled hours. And what that means is that the professor is going to work directly with the class to schedule some interactive hours with you. And it really depends exactly on the professor, the course, and what you're studying. So if you don't see any hours on your timetable, don't worry, they will be there. So you may also have noticed that maybe your program is being defined as being what we call blended learning. And what that means to you is that some of the hours of the program will be delivered live in a classroom or lab in a safe and secure environment at one of our Fanshawe College campuses, and the other hours will be delivered fully online. So it could be all online, or it could be blended where only some of the hours are online. What's really important for you to remember is no matter what the format of your program and whatever credential you are earning here at Fanshawe, it could be a certificate, it could be a diploma, it could be a degree program, they're all the same high quality, valued credential from Fanshawe, no matter what the format, and they're highly recognized as an industry preparedness credential, and employers recognize all Fanshawe credentials in the same way. You also may be wondering, who's teaching these online courses and blended courses? The answer is that it's all the same professors. If they teach face-to-face, they also teach online. It's all the same, very qualified industry professionals who will be teaching you here at Fanshawe College. So one thing that's really unique about Fanshawe College is that we really pride ourselves with our expertise with technology and online learning. Your course, whether it's blended or online, will be delivered fully through what we call our course management system, and it's called Fanshawe Online. And it has all the things that you need for your course, all the stuff of a course. So it could be your grades, your assignments, the materials, the recordings of some of the interactive sessions, your assignments, your group work. All of that's going to happen within your course management system. And you can expect that you will have group work assignments done online. You will be able to have industry speakers, be able to do industry projects, and receive all the same kind of interactive career preparedness education that you can expect from Fanshawe College. You might also be wondering a little bit about co-op. And co-op programs are available to online students, and we continue to be offering and securing co-op placements for our students. So if your program is a co-op program face-to-face, it's also a co-op program online. So be sure to make sure that you've selected co-op if that's what you're hoping to do. One other quick thing I want to mention about technology is that you need to have some. You need to have a computer and working internet in order to study blended or online at Fanshawe. So on our website, there's a listing for each program of the technology that you need. And so please check that and make sure before school starts that you have all the things that you need to have a great online or blended experience while you're here at Fanshawe. The other thing I want to assure you is that you will be getting direct feedback, interactive feedback, and personalized feedback from your professor in any of our courses. Many students ask about that, and yes, you will receive that personalized feedback. So I'd just like to say that whether you're studying business or information technology, maybe you're looking to study media and design, tourism, maybe you're looking to do sciences or arts, no matter what wonderful program you choose here at Fanshawe College, you're going to have a really, really great experience. We really look forward to seeing you in September.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mary, for all of your words. And, it's quite interesting. It sounds like no matter if a student is in an online program or if they're in a blended program, they can still really, really expect the same love, care, and the attention of the Fanshawe experience as a whole that we've come to know and love. So again, thank you so much for your words, and thanks for being on the show. Now, my next guest after the break will be Shawna Roach. She is an e-learning coordinator and a professor in the Lawrence Kinlan School of Business here at Fanshawe. She's going to be talking a little bit about what the online experience really tends to look like here at Fanshawe. Don't go away. All right, and welcome back. I'd like to introduce my next guest to you. Her name is Shawna Roach. She's the e-learning coordinator and professor for the Lawrence Kinlan School of Business. She's going to be talking a little bit about the online learning experience. Shawna, thanks so much for being on the show today. We love having you.
Thanks, Connor. It's great to be here.
No problem. So let's start by you talking about a little bit your roles and your, kind of responsibilities here at Fanshawe College.
Sure. So I'm an e-learning coordinator here at the college. I work in the Lawrence Kinlan School of Business, where I support faculty who are, developing and delivering online courses and programs. As well, I support online students in their learning journey.
Okay, that's great. So probably the biggest question from students in terms of online learning is they don't necessarily know what it exactly looks like. For a lot of them, this is very, very new territory. So can you maybe speak on, what that might look like for a student, how they can best navigate through that?
Yeah, sure. So at Fanshawe, all students have access to our learning management system called Fanshawe Online. And for online students, they're going to use the system to access all of their course notes, their reading materials, videos, and they're going to use it to kind of interact with different activities and complete assessments. As well, we have a platform within the system that allows for the students to interact with their professor and the other students. So if they want to see what our learning management system looks like, we do have an open version of it, and it's called Fanshawe Open. It can be accessed at fanshaweprospect.brightspace.com, and within there is a course called Learning to Learn Online, which teaches all of the skills necessary to be successful as an online learner. As well, it allows them to kind of experience that whole learning management system in the learning environment. So they can just go there and create an account to register.
Okay, that's great. So it sounds like everything is kind of all in one place for a student to be able to go and access it.
It is, yes.
Awesome. So speaking of terms, students are hearing a lot of brand new terms like synchronous and asynchronous. What exactly do those terms mean?
Yeah, so there's lots of different approaches to online learning, but they typically involve a blend of synchronous and asynchronous activities. So asynchronous would mean that the students are, completing different activities on their own time. So this could involve, them doing the readings or watching videos or completing quizzes. And then the synchronous activities would be where they're attending live virtual sessions with their professor and with their classmates.
Now, aside from the fully online program that maybe some students will have here at the college, we've also heard the term blended format. What exactly does that mean to a student?
So for students who are learning in a blended format, that would mean that they're doing some activities online. So this would be, doing those readings and, maybe completing some quizzes prior to coming to class. And when they come to class, they're going to be engaged in some practical applications. So they might be doing labs or simulations or group discussions.
Okay. So maybe a little bit of, kind of the elephant in the room, but there are a lot of students who are obviously very concerned about wondering if they'll be able to stay focused if they're in a fully online program, especially if they've never taken an online class or program before. Can you maybe speak on some of the biggest challenges that students might face being in an online program?
Yeah, so for a lot of the students, some of the biggest challenges would be around, as you mentioned, like time management, staying focused, being motivated, and maybe troubleshooting some of the technical issues that may come up in their home space. And so at Fanshawe, we've developed an online readiness assessment that students can take, and they can access that at miready.ca. And it will ask them a series of questions based on some of these challenges, and then offer some solutions and resources to help with that.
Okay, awesome. That's really, really great that all of that is fully accessible to students. Speaking of, the accessibility portion, students are also very concerned about having access to their professors. Maybe they're, very used to reaching out to them more so in a face-to-face program than online. Do students still have access to their profs in an online program?
Yes, of course. Students can reach out through email, or they can connect with their professors in class through discussion boards. They also have the option to reach out and set up some virtual meetings so that they can meet one-on-one or maybe with a small group. The professors are really there to help ensure that they're successful in their online studies.
Okay, that's really great. And finally, my last question to you, Shawna. If students still have questions, who are they able to reach out to in terms of online learning?
So when it comes to online learning, if they have questions, they can reach out to their e-learning coordinators. So there's a number of e-learning coordinators across the college, and you can find that information on our website. If there isn't an e-learning coordinator in their particular school of study, then they can reach out to their program coordinator, who also is available to answer any program-related questions. And if they have questions that are more specific to the course, the professor is there as well to help direct them.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Shawna, for your time today. We really appreciate you answering these questions, and we hope that you provided a lot of answers that students will take with them for online learning.
Thanks for having me.
Now, my next guest after the break is Jess Podgorsky, who is the Director of Library Services. She'll be answering some questions about online supports, tools, and other technologies that students need. Don't go away. All right, and welcome back, everybody, to FAQ, Fanshawe Answers Questions. My next guest on the show today is Jess Podgorsky, who is the Director of Library Services. She's answering some questions today about online supports, tools, and technologies. Jess, thanks for being on the show. How are you feeling today?
Great. It's a beautiful day out, and I'm really happy to be here.
Yes, it is. So my first question to you, Jess, can you just maybe tell us a little bit about your role here at Fanshawe and what it is exactly that you do?
Yeah, for sure. So the library is not your traditional library like you might remember from childhood. We're actually a really exciting hybrid between books and technologies and lots of online learning, which is why I'm here to talk to you and to the students today.
Awesome. So many students are obviously going to be studying online this fall. Can you speak on what kind of tools and technologies these students will need in order to be a successful online learner?
Yeah, of course. So I was looking through the long list of all the technologies, and really honestly, there's too many to name, and there are too many funny names to call them all. So they're going to get introduced to Fanshawe Online, our learning management system, and housed within that is a lot of cool tools, but their names at this point in time won't mean a lot to students. So saying H5P and Bongo sounds really exciting and interesting, but what's really going to happen is their profs are going to introduce them to a lot of those tools. So I would encourage students instead to really pay attention to what their profs are putting forward as technologies in the classroom and go through them at that point in time with their profs. So their profs will provide comprehensive walkthroughs for all of those different types of tools, and then they'll be introduced more to what they do rather than what they're called. So you heard me say Bongo, which is my personally favorite named tool, and that's a virtual platform for students to actually see their profs in Fanshawe Online face-to-face. So students might be really familiar with Skype or Zoom, but this is the educational equivalent that Fanshawe uses.
Okay.
So that's one of the really exciting tools we'll get to use.
That's great. So speaking of other student supports, what kind of online supports are there for students who will be studying in a fully online program?
So on our website, there again is a huge comprehensive list of every department and its corresponding virtual support. But what I thought I'd do today is highlight a few of them that have gotten me out of trouble in the past before.
Please do.
And see how that goes. So I am famous for locking myself out of my account. If you log in 3 times, you do lock yourself out, and we have a fabulous help desk. And if you either call into them or you use their live chat, which is my personal favorite, they'll unlock your account, or if you're having a technological problem, they'll actually take over your computer and solve it for you. I have never had a problem that they couldn't solve, and I've had some pretty epic ones over the years. So
you heard it here first. Go to the help desk if you have any problems with your technology.
yeah, they're really great, and they're very, very responsive.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm going to do a big plug for the library and library services. So students work all hours of the day. We know they just don't work from 8 to 4. So the library this fall will actually be available online for students from 6 a.m. till midnight. We're hoping to capture international students in a different time zone and those students who just prefer to work at night. So say you're there at 10 p.m. and you're really stuck on a research question, we're going to be there for you at night to help answer those questions. And I would really like to emphasize too, we're not just there to answer library questions. We will actually do our best after hours to answer whatever questions you have. And if we don't know the answer, we'll make sure we connect you over email with the person who does. And then first thing in the morning, we're hoping you hear back from that person. So all the supports that you enjoy in the library will be available to you virtually. We're also going to look at a curbside pickup model and digital delivery so that students have access to all of the resources that are physically here. And I have to say, most excitingly for students in the fall, we're hoping as the college reopens, most students wouldn't know, the library is getting a complete renovation that we're really hoping is open late fall. So right now, study at home, stay home, and then we're hoping that if all goes well in late fall, you'll be able to study and take your in-between class naps with us in the library.
Fanshawe Library 2.0.
So those are just a couple of big supports. Students also want to know what happens if I'm just really stressed out, and is counseling still there for me? Well, counseling is actually one of our most comprehensive services that is offered online. I know it's not the same as talking to somebody always face-to-face, but really the counselors are there virtually to help students as well, and all you have to do is email them at counseling@fanshawec.ca, and someone will get back to you quite quickly because they know how stressful it can be to learn online. And the other thing I'd really emphasize is that all of the services that you'll find on our website, you know, students look at that big list and they think, oh, do people really want to hear from me? Yeah, we do. We really, really want to hear from you, and we really want you to connect with us. Don't be shy about sending an email if you don't feel comfortable calling. You can call anytime. People do check all the voicemails, so it's okay to leave a message. Someone will get back to you over email or over the phone. Basically, we're here for you.
Yeah, I think to add to that point, we can guess as staff of Fanshawe as to what the students might want, but at the end of the day, if they're not, asking us these questions, and if they're not, telling us, hey, here's what I would want for me, then we don't 100% know these things. So it's nice to hear that there are many, many services still at the college, whether it be, in an online or in a face-to-face format. We are still here for those students, right? So Jess, I want to talk a little bit about affordability for students, because there are a lot of students who are obviously worried that they might not be able to afford some of the technologies that they will need to study in their fully online program. So is there anything that Fanshawe is doing to help to cover the cost of some of those specialized tools that they might need for their program?
So I can just give you a little bit of a preview
Sure.
because it's still to come for fall and folks are busy working in the background and what that tool is going to look like. But we are working on a virtual platform that will have many of those technologies available. You'll be able to remotely access them from your home. They're housed here on servers and things that are way outside of even my knowledge base, but they will be accessible for students online. Again, supported by that help desk. If they have questions, they'll be able to show students how to download any of the clients and really just work with little bits of the software. Also for students, your best resource if you're really having questions about affordability is to check out financial aid and make sure you're applying for those bursaries. That's really important and they can really help and go a long way. And again, small library plug, you're having trouble with that stuff, let us know. And we're also working to convert many of our resources to online so that they're directly embedded in classes so that students don't always have to be paying for them.
Yeah.
So looking for little ways to save folks money.
Absolutely. I think that one of the best things that I love about Fanshawe College is that it seems that, you know, if you want an answer, you don't have to go to one single service or, you know, a single department to get the answer. You know, there's usually about 2 or 3 places that you can go to find the answer that you're looking for, which is really, really great for
Big
students.
time.
Okay, Jess, and my very last question to you, I promise it's an easy one. If students still have questions about online tools and online technologies, who can they contact here at the college?
Well, like you said before, Connor, there are so many places to go for great answers, but I'd honestly say top 3, ask your program coordinator and your faculty members. They'll be able to answer amazing amounts of questions for you. Ask the help desk. They're always there for you to answer all your technological questions. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't say it. When in doubt, ask a librarian.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Jess, for your answers. Really, really appreciate having you on the show. And, you know, hopefully this answers a lot of the questions that our students will have. Really appreciate it.
Great. Thanks, Connor.
No problem. Now, after the break, we'll have our final guest, Katie Tacker, who is the president of the FSU, or Fanshawe Student Union. Don't go away. Hi, and welcome back, everybody, to FAQ Fanshawe Answers Questions. I'm here with my 4th and final guest. Her name is Katie Tacker, and she is the president of the Fanshawe Student Union, or FSU, as it's commonly called. Katie, thanks so much for joining us here on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. So my first question to you is a pretty easy one. Can you just tell us a little bit about the FSU in general and maybe what your role is as president?
Right. The Fanshawe Student Union, as most of you already know, is a student representative body designed to meet the needs and expectations of all students attending Fanshawe College. We offer students with multiple platforms to broaden their horizons and hone their skills through services, workshops, clubs, events, and several other initiatives. As for my role as president, it has been a unique situation where I had to take the reins over from the previous FSU president in a remote setting. So things were a bit tricky there. But hats off to the FSU staff who's always been very supportive in helping me get equipped for my job. So a big thanks to them. As for the plans that I had coming into this position, most of them have been put on the back burner, and I've had to focus my energies on new challenges and new pressing areas of concern for the students based on the current scenario. I think a lot has changed this academic year when it comes to the way we conduct business, but what has not changed is our goal to provide students with the best and most meaningful student life experience.
That's really, really great to hear from the FSU perspective. My next question to you is all about challenges. We know that there are a lot of students who look forward to the various events and activities that the FSU typically holds in the fall, but obviously now due to COVID-19, we know that some of those events have changed in the scope and how they're being run. So now, from the FSU perspective, what can students expect in terms of these events and activities?
Right, thank you for that question, Connor. The FSU will have an events calendar that will be online and fully accessible to both fully online as well as blended students attending Fanshawe College. Some of the events that you may see are bingo night, game or no deal, special guest music performances, and other fun contests for students to participate in. If COVID-19 restrictions are eased, there could be in-person events as well, but what that's going to look like, we have no idea as of now. I suggest all students to follow Fanshawe Student Union on all our social media accounts at www.fsu.ca to stay up to date on all events and activities. Or you can subscribe to our calendars at www.fsu.ca/events.
That's great. So making everything fully accessible online for students, which is great. Katie, my next question is about blended format students. We have a lot of students who are studying in a blended format that are now asking about fees and why they still have to pay certain fees, like fees for the building or for an LTC bus pass. Are you able to tell us what is in place for these students and why they still have to pay these fees?
Blended learners will be attending the campus in some capacity. They will have some face-to-face element to their learning, which would mean that they would have access to the facilities and buildings of the student union. These students will be paying an ancillary fee package, which is slightly different from the ones that the online students will be paying, and it includes the bus pass, and therefore they'll have access to it. Whereas the fully online students will be paying an ancillary fee package that does not include the bus pass and therefore will not have access to it. For further information on bus pass and ancillary fees, please visit www.fsu.ca/bus or www.fsu.ca/ancillary-fees.
That's great. Students may be looking for jobs in the fall semester. Does the FSU hire students?
Connor, normally in full season, the FSU hires about 180 employees, 100 of whom are students. The number might fluctuate given the circumstances now, but we are currently developing hiring plans across all our service areas. You should check www.fsu.ca/jobs on a regular basis to see what positions are available and the application process.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Katie. That's a great answer. We've gotten a lot of questions from students about the student health plan. Can you tell us a little bit now how that works with everything being almost fully online?
Yeah, so the health plan for domestic as well as international students will continue to exist as is. What is changing is that students are being billed annually instead of by semester. They'll have benefits from September 1, 2020 up until August 31st, 2021. All the information that the students might need to access the plan and the benefits listed within the plan can be viewed on www.fsu.ca/health. International students will also find a link in there to access their healthcare provider information, which is MoreCare.
Okay, perfect. Thanks, Katie. And my very last question to you is, what kind of student services and supports will the FSU be providing in the fall?
FSU's current plan is that we will be open for business to support students and advocate on their behalf. Food services like Oasis, the Outback Shack, Bar and Grill, and Booster Juice will be open. Interrobang will continue to publish a newspaper and inform students in an online fashion as well as in paper form. The Biz Booth and Games Room will be open following all the health and safety protocols, albeit with limited patrons at any given point of time and limited tables for physical distancing purposes. Events and activities for the time being will continue online and possibly in person when we get a green light from the college to do so. I urge all students watching this video to connect with us on our social media channels as well as visit our website www.fsu.ca frequently so that you do not miss a thing when it comes to your student union. We might not be visibly present on campus, but we are there for the students to support them through thick and thin. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, no. And thank you, Katie, for being on the show. We really, really appreciate it. And thank you for giving some more insight on the FSU and what exactly you guys are doing to help.
Thank you so much for having me, Connor.
You're welcome. And I'd also like to thank Mary Pierce, Shawna Roach, and Jess Podgorsky for participating on the show today. For any updates in terms of what is happening this fall, please go to our website online, fanshawec.ca/COVID-19. You can also visit our YouTube page to see all of the FAQ videos that we've put out so far. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.